Do you have an example of when a statement can be true without a mind?
A statement? It's getting kind of hard again because you need a mind to make a statement. So,
So you guys just out for a stroll?
he's super depressed because he got stood up today, and we've been best friends for probably over 12 years.
Oh, bummer that you got stood up.
I'm just not.
Yeah, like Steph stood up, but like she was just unkind, and so we're going for a positivity walk.
Yeah.
When we got some ice cream, we're gonna hang out in the sun and
Awesome.
try to turn the energy around.
Are you okay if I record?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, your fist of power,
Totally.
your gauntlet,
Yeah, throwing down.
feminine energy. I don't know how far that.
This is pretty funny.
But Priscilla, on a real note,
Mm-hmm.
you look beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. It's the insides, correct?
I think it's the shoes.
It's the shoes. I wear these Crocs just because they offend people. They make people uncomfortable.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, so just to kind of recap
Yeah.
what I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
I'm interviewing members of my community
Mm-hmm.
about something that's meaningful to them,
Yeah.
something that they think is true, and I'm asking questions from a neutral perspective that kind of help us explore how you got there
Yeah.
and what's supporting your confidence that it's true.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I can do that.
So, yeah, and will you
And so
spell
right
your...
now we are recording all the way, or what's
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah, cool.
Cool.
So both angles
There, and here.
and there. Okay.
And then here's my audio source.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Great.
Will you spell your name, please?
Yeah, it took me a while. It's Priscilla. And it actually means ancient.
Priscilla.
Yeah, which is another reason I believe what I believe is correct.
Ancient.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Your name helps support what you believe?
Absolutely.
Interesting.
100%.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you had a different name, you would believe different things?
That would be the different truth, wouldn't it?
Okay.
This is my truth within it.
Okay. Is it okay if we do a quick thought experiment?
Sure.
Okay. I've got a box of Tic Tacs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many are in here.
Okay.
I presume you don't know how many are in here.
I said 28.
Okay, cool.
And when you said Tic Tacs, I said to you, because you said this is a box of Tic Tacs.
Okay. Do you agree that I have a box of Tic Tacs in my
Yeah,
hand?
I said to you. Yes, that is your yes.
Okay, cool. Is it true to you that I have a box of Tic Tacs in my
Right
hand?
now I'm agreeing to that, but I don't see the emblem on it, so I'm actually just agreeing to your truth.
Got it. A box of white candy looking things.
Sure.
Okay, cool. All right. Is there a way to find out how many are in here?
We could count them, of course, but we could also do other things to figure it out.
Okay. Counting them would be one way.
Mhm.
Okay.
The easiest.
Let's say we dumped them out
Mhm.
and we counted them.
Mhm.
and we counted them like 1,000 times, both of us.
Okay.
And each time you and I both counted them, we came to the number of 30.
Okay.
And this is like not a trick question
Yeah.
thing or anything like that. Would it be true to you that there were an even amount of candies in here?
An even amount of
By the
candy?
way that we define as a society, even and odd, would you say that it's true that there was an even number if we counted them 1,000 times and each time we counted them it came out to 30?
I would think that the amount of times that we counted it would not matter on whether or not it was even or not.
Okay.
Unless you meant like even, like I did an even number in comparison to your even number. There's that perspective. But
Yeah.
then there's also just the number 30 being an even number in perspective.
Yeah.
So I could see people assuming that that was an even event.
Okay, got it. So the reason why I mentioned counting it 1,000 times is because sometimes we can make mistakes.
Yeah.
And like the more times you test something, the likelihood that you're going to get an accurate or a highly accurate result is going to be, more accurate the more times you test something. Would you-
Sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
You could be making yourself mad, though, too. Or even because counting over and over again, you could be creating actual chaos and problems within your counting. And undercounting or overcounting because you're kind of getting chaotic from looking at white dots for so long.
Got it. Like, yeah, you would drive yourself crazy if you counted too many times.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could even change the number just from that. Not necessarily because the number of those changed,
Yeah.
but just because your ability to sense what was happening did.
Yeah. If the goal was to know if there were an even or an odd number in here,
Mm-hmm.
counting it more times than not would you say help in getting to what's likely the accurate
I would say that
answer?
there would be a point of investigation that would be appropriate, and then you would feel that, and then after that point, it would seem very frivolous. To some and to others, very important.
Got it. What would be the appropriate amount of times that we would count this?
If I were counting them, I would end up putting them in like linear stacks or lines, and I would make sure that I was confidently identifying, maybe 2 at a time. And I would do that same sort of formula with another person, and we would probably do that enough times to where it just made sense that we could physically see that everything was in an even order and all the numbers were in a line, and then we would agree to it and move forward. So it wouldn't take too long.
There would be a process that you could use that you would be confident in finding out if it's even or odd.
I would analyze the situation, figure out the work smarter, not harder route into how I was going to make sure that I felt solid about my choice. And then I would follow by that protocol and make sure the other person also agreed to it.
Got it.
And then we would go in.
Cool.
And stop at a point that we really just felt was irrational.
Let's say we did that process and you were confident and you were satisfied with the process that you took to find out if this was even or odd.
Yeah.
And somebody else walked up and said that it was their truth, that it was odd.
Yeah.
Would they be mistaken?
No, not at all.
Okay.
That's, I bet, to them. I wonder why. I would ask more questions.
Uh-huh.
I would never, ever, ever assume that they were incorrect.
Okay.
I would actually identify it as it could definitely be their truth.
Could anybody be mistaken about anything?
I mean, everybody is kind of mistaken about everything if you're assuming someone else's truth. So, in a situation like right now, you have a perspective, I have a perspective. Your truth is your truth within your little bubble over there. My truth is my truth within my little bubble over here. I could be mistaken if I assumed your truth because I'm not in your truth and I never ever could be.
Okay, cool. Are you using perspective and truth interchangeably?
I think that perspective is different than truth to me, again, because perspective is what I hold. I hold a perspective of all sorts of different things, and I'm using my perspective to identify all different versions of the world or what I'm interacting with, and then I compile all of the perspectives that I take in, and I create a truth that is mine.
You create a truth that's yours based on your perspective.
Based on a lot of people's perspectives, not just mine,
Okay.
even if it's not my truth. I compile perspectives.
Okay, maybe it would help me understand if you told me the difference between your truth and your perspective.
My perspective is seeing everything. My truth is what my core agrees to. So my perspective changes. So does my truth, though. And that's another part of this. Truth and perspective will change forever. But I do think that they're different because, like, sometimes I'll hold a perspective about something that isn't my truth. Here's one, okay? So, like, and this is a tough one, especially because we're being videotaped, but it's interesting. So, like, I've had an abortion, okay? But now I don't think I would have one. That's interesting.
Your perspective changed.
Very much.
Your
very
truth
much.
changed.
All. But now my perspective, I still think other people should be able to have them, even though I changed my truth about that to myself. So my perspective and my truth are different, but I still hold the perspective that I had when my truth was in line with the perspective when I had an abortion at the beginning.
Okay.
So they can change, but I can still hold a perspective that isn't necessarily my truth today.
Okay. I think I understand. Like your perspective and your truth is malleable. It can change based on experiences.
Yeah, life.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of life is that we're just like, we're constantly in growth and development. And like, if we were ever to say like, this is my truth in the form of it being an infinite, okay, I think that would be death. That'd just be the end of it if it was your truth forever and ever. But
okay, a non-changing.
Yeah, it's got to be progressive, just as we are as humans.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's see.
I'm sorry.
If I were to say that I really, really, really like those shoes.
Yeah.
And it's my truth that they belong to me.
Yeah.
Would I be mistaken?
I would think that was really interesting.
Yeah.
And I would think that you believed that.
Yeah.
I would.
But if I claimed that they were mine.
Yeah.
Would I be incorrect?
Not in your truth. Not in your truth. To you, you might really believe that these bad boys are yours. Yeah. And I can't take that away from you, nor could I change it. I could not get in your brain and make you not believe that these shoes are not yours.
Does truth require a mind?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's no truth outside of minds? Would you say that?
If we're talking about a perspective, which once again, this all goes hand in hand, truth and perspective, we're having conversations, we're using words, we're talking about it. There's a mind. We wouldn't even be going here.
Okay.
If we wouldn't be talking about the word truth at all, if the human mind wasn't a part of this. So from base formal, that's where it would go. Now, if we were just to say, like, if I were to pretend that humans were never ever on the earth and like the word truth was never here, but the concept, like the natural law of what truth is, I believe that it would again hold the same factor. You know, there would be like a deer that's frolicking around that feels strong. Maybe that deer is the leader of the pack and feels like they are the biggest predator out there in their world. Well, then something bigger than them comes along, like a wolf, and that wolf says, actually, I'm the biggest predator. Now, the deer was right. Wolf's right, too.
And they each have a mind.
Yep.
So,
but if we were to go to Earth, even, I mean, you could, plants, people say that plants have minds, too. It's just like a different kind.
That's what I was going to...
So it's like kind of hard because it depends on what you believe a mind is, and, you know.
Maybe this will kind of clear it up. For me, at least.
Yeah.
So, are you convinced that the Earth was here before minds were here?
I don't know, to be super real.
I'll give you a specific example.
Yeah.
Like, say before there were any, like, living organisms that we would say are probably have a mind, like there was just volcanoes and stuff like that, right?
Okay.
Would it be true that volcanoes erupted even if there were no minds around?
That's really hard because it's like, does a bear shit in the woods? It's the same kind of question.
Well, the bear would have a mind, I guess.
But
And I'm trying
so
to.
it's like, so like if the volcano is erupting, yes, it erupted. That is
It's
truth.
true.
But there would have to be somebody observing that with the word truth in their mind to identify it as what is called a truth.
A volcano would have to have an observer for it to be true that the volcano erupted, even if there were no mines on Earth.
If there, oh, are we talking no minds on Earth?
Yeah, no,
Then
yeah,
we
no.
wouldn't even use the word truth. We wouldn't use the word truth. If there were
Okay.
no minds on Earth, we wouldn't use the word truth.
Let's say we were geologists,
Okay.
and we were like up at Mount St. Helens or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I were to say it's true that 3 billion years ago, and I don't know the numbers.
Yeah. That's okay.
3 billion years ago, this volcano erupted. Would that be reasonable to say if I had the evidence for it? Like, would it be reasonable just to make the statement it's true that this volcano erupted even before there was anybody here to see it?
To you. Yes. To you. To the geologist man that found that out, that said that felt that with all the facts.
Okay.
To that person, yes.
So it sounds like you're saying truth requires a mind.
For the most part.
Do you have an example?
I can't identify the stuff that I don't know. So, like, I don't know if the water has a mind. But maybe it does, because it moves like it does.
Okay.
And it acts within the universe like it does.
Okay.
So that's part where, I mean, like, we got to go pretty deep there. And we could say that all working has, I would say, energy. Maybe we could go there. We could talk about energy versus a mind. I think that would be a more appropriate thing, because that's a universal thing. The energy is within pretty much all of the matter that existed here on Earth before the humans, let's say, came about. So is energy at work, and is energy the truth? Like, when energy moves, there's energetic laws on Earth that say that that is the reality. That's what we've uncovered. If we were to apply that same viewpoint to life before human minds were all around, then we could say that energy could prove its truth all the time. In a volcano, energy did that. Then it explodes. The remnants come down. That is a truth. You know, energy moved. It didn't necessarily need a mind to prove it.
Okay.
It just was that the energy moved. Like, and if we're going to talk about it in that form, I guess it could go more down that hole.
And would you have to say to you for that to be accurate?
Yeah, to me. Yeah.
Okay.
This is, again, my perspective of what that stuff really means. Some
Okay.
people believe that this is nothing, that the Earth is there and doesn't even have an energetic line.
Does a statement have to be true to someone in order for it to be true?
No, because anything can be uncovered. Everything is available to be true.
Okay. So, do you have an example of when a statement can be true without a mind?
A statement? It's getting kind of hard again, because you need a mind to make a statement. So, I keep wanting to go back to love. I don't know how to word it, though, because I don't think you need a mind to make love true. I think that the way that the earth moves with each other is like it's in love.
Okay.
And so I don't know what sentence that would be, but like,
Okay.
that there is an ebb and flow to all. I could probably say that. Like,
And that's true
that's just true.
to you, or just
I think
true?
that's just true.
Okay, so there are statements that we can make.
But that's, again, just me, and someone else could say no. So again, it's to me. It's very difficult for
Okay.
me to make a sentence like that on behalf of all.
Here's where the Tic Tacs might come back in handy, or the candies.
Yeah.
If we don't know how many are in here, and somebody said that there's an even amount, and somebody said that and somebody else said that there was an odd amount, could both of them be correct?
Yes. Yes. 100%. Here, I'll give you a story. I'll give you a story. Okay.
There could both be An even and an odd number of
Yes.
candies in here?
Yes, absolutely. I'll give you a story. So basically, eyes and perspective. So have you ever bought a car or something, and then after you bought a car, you started to see the car everywhere you went?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because your eyes saw the car. So you bought the car, you see the car, now your eyes know what the car looks like, and now everywhere you were going, you were driving past that car before all the time, but now you see it.
Yeah.
Okay? Your eyes see it. So to you, that car is around, but to somebody else who doesn't really identify with that car, it's not there. They will not see it. This has been going on since the beginning of times, you know. There were always people that were around the circle that could see things differently than some of the other people around the circle. And they would try to warn others, you know, the big ships are coming. Bad stuff is about to happen. And other people wouldn't listen to them. And they would get frustrated and they would plead, please see this, please see that my number is even. Well, you see it to be odd. And they both were right. They only saw the odd number. And those other people saw the even. And they were both right in the exact same moments. Their truths were both true.
Got it. Do you have a bank account?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of. Yeah.
If your records
Yeah.
showed that you had $100 in your bank account,
Yeah.
and your bank said that you were in the negative 100,
Yeah.
you're saying that you would both be right?
I would, at that point, I would say, in my perspective, I swear I was right and that I had $100 in there. And in their perspective, which holds the law above in that situation, is that I'm negative 100. And they would win in terms of like what was done with the paper fakeness. But what my truth was in that would still remain to be true to me, and their truth would still remain to be true to them.
Why would they win?
They would only win in the terms of like that money amount, like whatever the game was that you were playing, or if that was, because there had to be a decision made. That's really why there had to be a winner.
There had to be
There had
decision.
to be a decision made. So
Okay, and so
on someone else's terms too. This is also a bank where you sign legal documents and you're conceding to them being the people that actually make those decisions, yes or no. You can go and say this is my truth to them, but they're still going to be the people that you sign the paper that gets to say this is our truth. You don't get yours. So going into a situation like that, you just have to expect it.
how do you suppose that they would be able to show that they were accurate?
They're of course going to have their own evidence, of course, and I assume have mine, and either one you would compare and contrast, and again they would win just because of legalities.
Legalities.
The world. If we were going off of like natural law, things might work out different, but that's not how we're all working.
So, based on the legal system,
In that situation,
in that situation, there are ways to find out if
it would still be to them. Even though the money was wherever it went, it would still be to them. To them, that was their truth.
Interesting. So how do we resolve disputes?
You accept. And you never ever try to change someone.
So if I took your shoes, you would accept that they were
You should
now mine?
You should never try to change someone. So you're trying to take my shoes off. We're into a new part of things. We're also into natural law. Because if you come at me and touch my body, I now have to react.
Yeah.
So it's no longer about your truth. It's about my truth because you're on my body.
Okay. So it changes from it being my truth.
No, it could still be your truth. You could come after my shoes. You could try to take them. Now your truth is probably going to get booked. Your truth is you're probably going to go to jail for assault
Why?
because of the laws within what we live in. Again, it's a law thing. It's not a natural law or a whose truth gets to be what. And I don't think anybody in natural law land gets to win that. I don't think that's something that gets won in natural law
Okay.
land.
Natural law is on a different level than like legal law
Way
or like
different
societal
level.
law?
Way different level, in my opinion.
Uh-huh.
To me, again, yeah.
Okay. So if I were to say something's my truth and that's completely opposite from your perspective of your truth, we would both be correct.
Yeah.
And both statements, even if they were contradictory, would both be true.
Yes. And in terms of natural law, You can do whatever you want and have your own everything, your own beliefs, but you can't hurt other people. Like, is the ultimate goal of natural law, is that you wouldn't have a malicious or evil intent with your truth. Because you could say it's my truth to rape you. Okay?
Yeah.
That in natural law land, no, that's not. That's not how natural law works. That's disgusting. You don't do that to another human being in natural law. That's a no-no. So
That'd be
there's...
against natural law and
And
societal
societal law
law.
too, but it's more about harm to soul, harm to that, to this entity. You don't put harm to other people's entity on your own truth journey.
Okay.
If we all were living in this ideal world, that's not how it works, though.
So truth could depend on whether you're harming someone.
No. Again, in like someone being wrong or right, because the person that's harming somebody, right? Like, that's still their truth. Like, they're allowed to do that. They're still allowed to be a harmful, fucked up person. But in my truth, according to natural law and what I assume to be true based off of my story, that's wrong to do.
Okay.
So, but again, it's a tough one. I live on this earth solely to not have a winner, to not deny anybody their truth ever, and
Yeah.
to never ever actually get to that point, because that's why we're destroyed right now.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to exist with one another, begging and pleading for everybody to learn one another's truth. That's not it. It's about you identifying your own and finding some real comfortable nature in it, because you're the one that has to live with that. And as we all boggle over this debate of what truth is of more importance, we're just losing our own truth, and we're killing each other in the meantime. You know, we're taking down each other's souls. And that's not what we're here for. So if I were to go based off of like this natural law concept, which is what I wish we all lived upon, then yeah, it would be really easy for everybody to just remain in their own truth within a respectful reason, you know.
You're a pleasure to talk with.
Thank you.
And this is really refreshing for me because it gives me more perspective.
Yeah.
And I really admire what I sense to be compassion from you.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering how much your perspective on what truth is based on compassion.
I would think that due to being an extremely empathetic human being while living a life that has taught me a lot, to where I actually wished for compassion from a lot of people. I gave a lot of compassion to a lot of people, and to even people that I should have never given the compassion to some standard. But what I have learned is that in all of this, like every single one of us is sort of suffering. And like, there's just no reason for us to not look at everybody like they're a little baby. Just maybe needs to get picked up. And so when we deny truths and all of that sort of stuff, it destroys people. And I think that that's probably why I have that compassion, is just because if anybody, even if they're absolutely out of their mind, you could at least tell them that they're justified so that they don't go further.
Okay.
You know, and having that compassion is actually a good thing. Same thing with, like, I mean, I hate to say it, but like there's this one chick I watch, and she's got her son is like, he's psychotic, he's a sociopath. I mean, he will hurt people, okay? And she has to have him in an institution, and it's for himself and it's for others, and it's because if he wasn't in this one that she paid for now, that she protected him in, then because of society, he would get pushed into all of these other places that would then do horrible things to him. And like, yeah, dude, is his brain really off to society? Could he hurt everybody? Yes. But that's someone's baby. Mm-hmm. She didn't ask to have that journey. She just accepted what she got, and now she's doing her best with it. Mm-hmm. And like, I love her, and I love her kid, and I'm glad she did whatever she's doing right now. Like, her truth is really rad. And like, I watch people talk about her and try to hurt her or try to hurt her son with their words, and it doesn't do anything to what she's actually doing with her truth. Mm-hmm. She's just doing the best she can with it. That's it, you know? Mm-hmm. And so I think if we look at that everywhere we go, we could just have a better time here together, you know?
You doing okay?
Yeah, I cry because I love everybody.
Hey guys,
Hey.
I went all the way up.
Cool. Did you go to the top?
I want to go feet up.
You're brilliant.
Yeah.
We're almost done. I think I just have like a couple more questions,
Cool.
if
Can
that's
you give me a
okay.
high five? Boom. See you later. Can you go talk to Matt for just one more minute, and then I'll meet you again? Go down the slide. Go show him how fast you go.
Okay.
Super. Perfect.
Real quick before I forget.
Yeah, of course, go for it.
Is it okay if
Yeah, she's
the
fine.
kiddo's on YouTube?
Yeah, she's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
It's
wanna
not
make
like
sure.
on a bad platform. It won't be on like.
No,
It's just
yeah.
yeah.
In fact, I'll give you information on how
Yeah,
to check
that'd
it
be
out.
great.
It's just like with kids, I like to make sure.
Yeah, it can be inappropriate. She's fine. She's dressed appropriately.
Okay,
It's
cool.
Okay, yeah. Totally.
So my might be my last question.
Yeah.
Could a statement be compassionate
Hmm.
and not true?
Yeah. To somebody. Yeah. Yeah. You
Okay.
could. I mean, like, how many times have you heard somebody say something to you with so much love, but to you it held zero value?
Oh.
It was more for them, their need of compassion, but for you and your truth, it maybe wasn't needed.
Like, how do I look in this dress? You know what I mean? Like, it may be true that they look terrible,
Yeah.
but if you want to be compassionate,
Oh, you mean that route.
I'm asking,
Can you be compassionate and still tell the truth?
can you be compassionate and say something that's not true?
And say something that's not true? Like that okay, so do they look good in the dress or not? Yeah. Come on.
Okay, let's say they do not look good in the dress.
They do not look good in the dress, and I'm going to tell them they look good in a compassionate way.
Yeah.
I would say something, if I'm being really real, I would say, man, you look really great in that dress. But I've seen you in other ones that were more flattering. You should try some other stuff.
Yeah. So,
I would
guess-
modify the truth, which is we should try something else on. With some compassionate things that I assumed would help her feel better.
would that be more true than, yes, you look fine in the dress?
If I said, yes, you look fine in the dress, I would be lying to her, right? Or because did she look good in the dress? Or you said she didn't. She didn't. So if I said, yes, you look fine in the dress, I'd be lying.
Right.
So my truth is I'm a super liar right now. So I wouldn't want to do that, to
Okay.
be really honest. If you're in my family, we've got a long time learning about truth, how to present it appropriately. And a lot of that learning is being honest, but also compassionate with the delivery. And you can still be very real and raw about what you feel, but still also make it nice for others.
It sounds like you put a lot of value in being compassionate to people.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I just believe that I think it's kind of like love, water, air. It's kind of a birthright. It's just one of those things. And in terms of compassion, I just have a lot of understanding for others and a lot of it's none of my business what you think of me. And it's none of my business, and the reverse. It's just that's not how that works. And in terms of compassion, I guess I just have accepted that everybody is here. And so I'm okay with them, however they come.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
We didn't get to universalism.
Right. I know. I feel bad
Next
about
time.
that. Okay,
Next time.
Sure.
I'm out here often in lots of different places. Do you have any questions for me?
Mainly, is there a topic that's come up that's just really valuable that you've heard about since you started doing this?
Lots.
Yeah. Cool. So it's just been expansive for you.
Lots. Everybody seems like, well, there's been a couple of times where people have chosen to talk about the same topic, but it's rare.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, I have I think my favorite is I had a conversation with someone at Capitol Lake, and their claim was God is a woman.
Oh. Fun.
Fascinating to me.
Super
I thought
fun.
the conversation was great.
Yeah. I think God is
fascinating.
water now.
God is water?
I think God is water.
So we could talk about the third time we get together.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's really coming down. Do you have something in mind?
Yeah, this has been great.
Super
Thanks
cool.
so much for sharing
Yeah,
your thoughts.
definitely.
And if you see me again,
Yeah,
feel free to have another
It was
chat.
a
This has been
pleasure.
great. Priscilla,
yeah, definitely.
my name's David.
Wonderful,
great to meet
David.
you.
Great to meet you as well. Thanks for your
You
time.
said you had a phone?
Yeah, I do.
You can take the, this will take you to my YouTube
Oh,
channel.
okay, perfect. Yeah, let me go grab my things and
Perfect.
then we'll head on.
Awesome.
Fun. How'd you do, kiddo?
Hey. I went higher again. Hey, ma'am.
Hey,
Hey, ma'am. I went higher
you went higher than the last time?
on that swing right there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How high did you go?
Can you show me a color?
You want a color?
Yeah.
Can I QR code you? real quick?
Yes.
Let me QR code real quick and then you color for a second, okay?
I'll go take a picture of this.
Okay,
But wait, it'll
What?
pop up. Like you're
Go
taking
closer.
a picture. And
it's doing it right there. I just did it. I like did that thing.
You gotta click the thing next to
You
it.
can take pictures.
you want a color?
Yeah.
Okay. Do that.
You want to hold it? Or you want me to hold it?
I like the hot
Oh,
color.
just like that?
Okay?
Oh, that's creepy.
You can color like it.
So yeah, sound epistemology, sound like the Puget Sound,
Yeah,
and epistemology is the study of knowledge,
yeah,
how we come to know things.
yeah. Very interesting. So I actually didn't introduce myself, but hi, I'm Priscilla, and I went to YouTube college.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and that's actually where I have my expansive learning from. And
Do you have a channel?
No, but I do. So I will eventually have one. But basically, what I do is I follow, or well, not I follow. I watch and I listen to everyone, and I follow no one.
Okay.
So there is not one single thing in this whole world that I sign the dotted line on at all.
Not even at the bank?
You know what? I don't even sign my truth. I don't sign my truth. I give them what they need. I signed a P with a Z and an A and an L, and it's not even my name. Yeah, I don't give them my name.
Like a Donald Duck?
Yeah, I don't give a shit about that. You want it? Sure. You want it again?
It's not like
I
they
don't care.
check.
Like,
They never check
These
either.
are-
it doesn't matter. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. They're gonna take it no matter what. It's
Right,
stupid. It's an oblivious mind thing. It's dumb. It's just to get us to make sure we follow the rules.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, all that kind of stuff. I don't concede to that. But either way, it's so fun because on YouTube we started there, but we've gone to many other platforms, of course. But I learned everything from alchemy
I'll put
to
this
how
down
to make
here, okay?
the most amazing poached egg. You know,
Yeah.
but you can learn it all. And
You
so,
can learn
like,
anything.
we have my family has property. We
Sayler.
build tiny homes, and anything that we want to create, we can create it. If we wanted to pick a project, we'd make it. If we need crutches, we can make them. We need a hockey stick, we'll do it too. You know, like
Yeah,
we can
just
kind of
need YouTube.
yeah, you could do it all. You could really do it all, and it's so cool.
YouTube's censored though. There's
They are super censored right now, and so we've gone to a lot of other.